at the young person and seem to have their own agenda. However, my experiences of TAs have been really positive because generally they've been a real help to me. Some of the qualities of helpful TAs are that they like working with young people, they're able to be unobtrusive, and they listen to the young person. They know when to stay in the background and when to give the young person some space to spend time with their friends. And the most important thing for me is that they've got a good sense of humour. Because it's really boring being with somebody who isn't serious, but I'm fortunate that I've had a very positive experience with my TAs. So I'm just going to round up what everyone's been saying really with the presentation. The aim of the questionnaire is to get the views of disabled people in schools around the country. Because we've just told, you've had 10 people's experiences, but we're keen to expand that even further and to just get a good idea of what everybody else, the experiences that everybody else has. So hopefully in partnership with your department, we'd be able to make the questionnaire as effective as possible and really instigate change. So if you've got any helpful suggestions.
Well, the range of issues you've talked about is very wide, and it just shows how there are so many different issues which we have to face up to, so many different things which you can get right or get wrong. And probably, if things are going well with extended services or PE, but then it's difficult at lunch, that can sort of undermine the whole day. So we ought to be trying to get every part of it right if we possibly can. And the survey which we're talking about doing, I think, is a big opportunity to do two things. One, for us to get information about what's happening, but probably at least as importantly to make head teachers in governing bodies and school councils actually think about what's going on in their schools. So it will be very interesting to see how many schools respond, because I guess maybe some of the people who are a bit defensive might not, and we can't make them. No. But what I think we can do is, if you've got a questionnaire covering these issues which is drawn up, presumably what we're going to do is ask the head teacher to get children with disability in the school or young people to fill out the form and then send it back.
There's an actual copy of the conversation on should be okay. So it gives you a good idea of what we're doing.
We're aiming for about 500 schools around the country, just to give us a good idea. So
are we only going to... Right.
But I don't know whether that would be...
Do you feel strongly we should send it to only some schools?
I don't feel. I think we're just thinking about the logistics of sending it to...
See, what we'll do it by email.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy for us to... I mean, I'm not going to do what the department thinks about this, but why don't we just email it to all schools and ask them to fill it? Because actually, it's no more difficult to send it to 500 than to send it to more.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's a particular reason why you're choosing a subset of schools.
We like to get it as wide as possible, but the problem was that we were concerned with the Kidz Board logistics of sending paper copies out to every school.
I think we should do it by email.
That'd be great.
I can email to head teachers. We do actually an email every week to head teachers. And we can either do it in the weekly email, or we can do it as a special one. Because I sort of think the ones who don't return it, we then need to have a different kind of follow-up to the ones who do. I mean, presumably what we do is we get the results back, we collate them, you do a commentary on it about what you think, what your experiences are, what you're reflecting back, and we send it back to the school saying these are some things you ought to think about or talk about in the school council, talk about with children with disabilities within the school council, and more widely. But I think we might want to have a different letter or response to those schools who don't send it back. So once we've sent it back, we say thanks very much for engaging, really interesting, here's our findings, it'd be good to know what you think and whether you could discuss this in the school. The ones who don't respond, we could go back and say you either haven't responded because you've got no young people in the school with disability, or something else went wrong. Maybe that makes it more important that you read this.
Yes, to 20,000 schools, who's going to read the responses when they...
Amazing.
You are harder. We can help with a bit of collating.
We could help with not the 20,000.
Are we getting 20,000 back?
Well, there's 21,000 schools.
Could we?
You normally get.
Could we send responses back to? Could they send out?